This is it for us. We'll talk to Alex Stone when he's back stateside, but he's packing things up and watching them pick up the boxes in Pyeongchang. Alex Stone live as we finish up with you over there in South Korea. Good morning, Alex Stone.
Good morning. I literally am packing things up right here. Listen, the zipper on my bag right here. I do have my suitcases sitting right next to me. Everybody has moved out. It's kind of like a ghost town here in Pyeongchang tonight. That all the scissor lifts were up all day long. They were taking down banners. They were taking things apart. Even though the Paralympics still have to happen here, but many of those who are here are moving out, and it's over now. Yeah, the closing ceremony, fireworks, music, the drones up in the sky, and then very quickly this area emptied out and people started heading back to where they came from.
Did I hear that they're going to take down the Olympic Stadium too?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was built from the beginning as a temporary stadium. They spent many millions on it. It can hold 35,000 people, but it was built all along as knowing that they were going to knock it down after it was over. It will stay through the Paralympics. They need it for the opening and closing ceremony, but there were no other events held in it, unlike the Summer Games where you have track and field in the stadium.
Right.
They didn't need it for that. They don't need it here. We are up in the middle of the mountains. They're never going to have a team that's going to play all the way up here, so they built it knowing. And a lot of the venues are the same way. They built them to be temporary, and it actually worked really well. You know, sometimes we go into Olympic cities where they're using permanent facilities, and they don't have them together in the way that they wanted to. These were temporary, and they had them completely together, and everything moved very smoothly.
What's the story of the Russian hackers? What's going on there?
Well, we know that there were hacking attempts on these games. That's something that the last probably 15 years of games have had to deal with. In 2008 in Beijing, they were getting thousands of hack attempts every day on the computer systems of the games. Here they were dealing with the same thing. The very first night, opening ceremony, hackers got in and they got relatively minor access in, only able to shut off the TVs and the press center, so the press couldn't watch the opening ceremony. But because of that, then the Olympic organizers went in and they shut down all of the servers for about 12 hours. That took down the Olympic website. That took down many of the other internal sites because they wanted to make sure that the hackers couldn't get in anymore. Well, now they have traced, according to South Korean intelligence sources, that hacking back to Russia. The Russians were apparently using IP addresses from North Korea to make it look like it was North Korea doing it. But they have been able to forensically take it back to Russia. They're never going to know who it was in Russia. Nobody's ever going to be penalized, but they do believe that the Russians were doing a lot of the hacking here.
You have to wonder if the Russians could have done more damage, but this is the only thing they did to sort of, give you a little calling card. Hey, we're here, and we can shut off everything, but we're just going to shut off the other TVs in the press box.
Quite possibly. And the Olympics have a love-hate relationship with Russia right now. They were banned from these games. The Russians were angry about that because of doping, but then they continued to have doping problems here, and the IOC wasn't willing to reinstate them. The Russians have been very angry about that. That may have prompted some of it. Look, when we came here, we were told, these games are like moths to a flame, that for hackers, they know the whole world is watching. There's a lot going on here, that our phones were probably going to be listened in on, that and not by the government of South Korea, but by hackers, that your camera might be activated, your computer would likely be hacked, and just to know that was going on. They knew coming in to warn everybody coming that hacking was going to be a major problem.
Alex Stone, when it's all said and done, the American women got more golds than the American men?
Yeah, and overall, 23 medals for all of Team USA. Team USA saying it's going to have to do some soul searching. Going in, it thought the number would be around 37 based on its analysis of who was likely to win gold. Norway whipped everyone's rears. 39 medals. They had so many medals that they didn't have enough gold shoes. They give gold shoes to everybody who wins a gold medal, and they ran out of gold shoes. So Team USA is saying that they've got to do some study now, really look at what is Norway doing right, other than they live in the land of Olaf, and that that they're always in around many of these sports. But Canada, Germany, what can the U.S. do to get up to that? In 2010, the U.S. broke the record number of medals in the Winter Olympics at 37. We were nowhere close to that.
Alex Stone, great work. Have a safe trip home. Thanks for checking in.
You got it.